Welcome back to the Persona 3 FES Max Social Links run. Last time we explored a bit of another area of Tartarus, but now it's time to return to the dorm to get ready to have no life, because it's MMORPG time again. Yeah, it's Sunday, we don't really have much else to do on Sundays, for now at least, so it's going to be more MMORPG time, which is why I said we were not leaving Tartarus before, and we're still tired, but doesn't really matter because tiredness and the whole thing to do with courage is pretty much a thing of the past now. Actually, I should point out, the deadline for having max courage is actually approaching soon, so if you haven't maxed it yet, you really need to get on to doing that. Of course, before I go to play the MMORPG, I'm also going to just check the dorm, because usually there's a few things people have to say in here. Especially since Fuka's now with us. Still, quite a while till the next full moon, but that time often goes by faster than you think. Oh, also, I need to check out this. On the next episode of Phoenix Ranger for the Manor. Episode 17, The Priestess's Revival. It's bad times when the Fiend returns. That? Huh. Have those guys been watching us and secretly basing stuff off of our adventures? Sure sounds like it. Anyway. Well, I don't blame her. And it's good to have her around for analysis. I don't know if this is the first time we're seeing Fuka in her casual clothes. And Mitsuru explaining a few of the orders once more. Unable to heal or support during this time. She never specified whether she's unable to Marin Karen during that time, and that's the real thing that I'm worried about. I think we may actually be able to see where Fuka's room is if we go up the stairs here, but there's really no point. We never really get to do anything with it. So, back to the room with us, and I guess I can check the TV to see if there's anything on the shopping channel. Once again, the catchy song. Considering I've pretty much got money to burn at this point. So, what do we got here? Brand purse. That's useful for... Actually, that might be useful kind of soon. Wow, brand purse and perfume. Okay, so 2 dating items for the price of 1. That is going to be useful considering the amount of dating Gary Sue's going to be doing. And that amount of yen is nothing to us. So let's buy that. I may have mentioned this before, but you only ever need a present once in this whole run. But it's always nice to have a few extras just as an insurance policy. Anyway, with that, it is time to talk to Maya. And yes, since we have Naga, now not Yamotsu Shikome, sad face. But anyway, we're gonna have to play the MMORPG for the rest of the day again. Yeah, the fact this takes up an entire day, including nighttime, is always frustrating, but we are progressing with this link. Mainly because we don't have much to do on Sundays. Maya is in Daru. Huh. Which bastard are you talking about there? That always does, but with the internet, you can kind of get away with that. Ah, yeah, we remember him. I love this social link so much. Like I said, I love this social link so much. And I think at this point, we should have a pretty good idea of who Mr. E is. I think we've had to deal with him in real life too, and yeah, I pretty much agree with Maya, that guy's a jerk. Well, at least Mitsuru seems to have punished him. Shame there aren't any thieves around here to steal that corrupt teacher's heart. That's a different school. Now up to rank 6, so past the halfway point. Again, I love this social link so much. Wonder if we should tell her that, a friend of ours may have done something to punish that guy. And now, back to regular, and of course we couldn't rest because we were playing the MMORPG, so we're now sick. Unless we actually go to Tartarus like this, it's not really that bad, but I can go to the nurse's office just in case. Yeah. And of course, that also happens. Mitsuru, well, at this point, Garisu's being like, I need to appeal to her. You're more my type, Yukari. Maybe? Yukari definitely has some issues with Mitsuru, but it might be a while before those actually come out. And we go straight to afternoon time. Oh, and look, we got another lesson here. Yeah, it's always Garisu. Aha! My minor in English finally pays off. I think Anne makes the most sense in this. Now, normally I would say it feels weird for them to be giving this when it's supposed to be set in Japan, but conjunctions in Japanese work pretty much the same way they do in English, so that's at least one benefit there. I've heard that... Yeah. I've heard from my translation classes, because it was a mix of different languages, that apparently Chinese doesn't really have contradictions, so when you're translating that, you have to basically guess what they're going to be. That sounds kind of terrifying, to be honest. Not that Japanese doesn't have its own terrifying issues when it comes to translation. Anyway. Yeah, not for another 22 days. Now, today we're going to be doing Kaz's social link, but there's something that we're going to take care of first. Actually, two things. Well, Garisu certainly is. But many players kind of aren't, because Captain Obvious is now with us. So, like I said, two things to take care of today, and one of them is this. If we talk to these students, though, some of them have some interesting things to say. Huh. Well, that's interesting. We might want to remember that for later. Now, what are you doing? Yeah, I pretty much never text message anyone, really. I just always found it to be pointless. Now, what we need to find here is the laboratory, not the science room. The science room is actually not what you're looking for. A lot of guides say to check the science room. This is actually for the photography club, and it is full. But if we check the laboratory... I'm not sure what they're doing in there, but it doesn't sound good. Well, can't hurt to try and enter here. And look, they didn't make a model for the room, so they're just like, let's just show the outside. Anatomical model. Old, ugly, the students think it's creepy. Well, if they're giving it to us... I wonder if this is the shell of a man that Elizabeth was talking about. She doesn't have that much of a grasp on the real world, so she tends to be a bit overdramatic about things. But definitely seems like this could work, so let's go ahead and take it to her. And we're pretty much going to be going her way anyway, because the second thing that we want to take care of today is, well, one that I'm really looking forward to. Huh. Garisu goes there all the time, with his many waifus. And by now, we pretty much know where the Velvet Room entrance is. So convenient having one in the mall. In fact, while we're here, I might want to check out the antique store, because I do have a few more gems. I want to see if I can trade some stuff for, if I can get that goggle-eyed idol now. What are you guys saying? Huh. More of that takoyaki. Not really sure what's in that, but... No, they don't! Well, they do sometimes, because we just killed one. And you have no idea what's just happening, don't you? Anyway. Let's see if we can get that. I think it might be amethyst, I'm not sure. Oh, we also have a new Nile bow, so we can try and fuse a better... say, source bow... counter physical... auto rakukaja... evade ice... evade wind... evade elec... auto sukukaja... poison resist... You know, come to think of it, actually, Yukari's currently got some better stuff. Auto Sukukaja is nice, but it's hard to justify giving up 100 power. Anyway, let's see if we can... These things are really useful, but we don't have any of the required items. Purifying rice is... Actually, we've got a lot of aquamarines. I might as well get some of these, because I don't have much Hummer on. I'll take 2 of them. Not too much, just a couple of them. Fierce Sutra. No, he's on the entire party, and I only need 1 of each. You know what? I may as well take 2 of these while I'm at it, too. Guaranteed escape from most battles. Oh, no, it's turquoise. Okay, I don't have enough for that. Could get the kaleidoscope, the Japanese doll, or the teddy bear, but, yeah, I'd rather wait until I can get the goggle-eyed idol. But at least I got some other items out of that. Later in the game, once we get those skills on personas, the items that carry those effects aren't going to be too useful. But for now, we're going to be reporting this request into Elizabeth, and then the real fun begins. Because it will be time for Elizabeth round 2. So yes, this is the shell of a man. A replica of the human body. Huh. And Elizabeth is still pretty oblivious to how things work. That's probably why people find it terrifying. And right now, Kamui the face toucher is screaming. Whenever I do this request, I keep thinking about how, apparently, according to designer's notes for, not designer's notes, but early stuff on the game Danganronpa, apparently Monokuma was originally supposed to be an evil anatomical model, which would have been even more disturbing. But now, I'm going to go ahead and accept this request. And once we go here, we now have another option. We can go on a date with Elizabeth, and this is going to be pretty amazing, just like the last one. Let's head out then. I still can't believe that in my first playthrough, I never realized that these requests didn't take up time. So this time is Iwatodai Station. Thankfully, there aren't any shadow incidents going on here this time. Elizabeth, I don't think that's the one you're supposed to go down. Well, she's having fun already.
Flowing stairs that must be mastered by those who would try to pass. So this is an escalator.
That's one way to put it, yeah.
It looks simple, but one false step and challengers will be mired in an exhausting ordeal.
Warning. Please refrain from going up the down escalator, and vice versa. Thank you.
Don't you just hate it when you hear an announcement at a train station that seems to be directed specifically at you?
And what's this? Please watch your step. There's a pitfall just ahead.
Okay then. Where? And she's already gone.
It's in the center of this fenced-off area.
That sign there is actually similar to real ones you see in Japan all the time.
It's marked with eye-catching signs which state in bold print, "Do not enter." Humans frequently crave that which is forbidden to them. This is a crafty snare that goes against the common notion that pitfalls must be hidden.
I think you're looking a little too far into this.
A stairway that tests one's wits, and a pitfall that tests one's inner strength.
Yeah, should we tell her that sometimes do not enter just means they're doing work here, stay away?
Human authorities have a great deal to contend with in their quest to defend the town's law and order.
Of all the things regarding this town's law and order, that's the thing she's concerned with.
I'm very moved by their plight. Let's continue forth, our thoughts dedicated to the unsung heroes who love this town so very much.
Otherwise known as regular sewer workers. She still keeps looking at it. Well, that was certainly interesting. What can possibly top that?
This fragrant aroma. It can't be.
Oh, I think I know what she's noticed. This might not end well.
Whoa! You can figure out our secret ingredient just by its smell?
When I first heard this, I was like, holy crap, I actually gave the random takoyaki cook NPC a voice?
Oh, I guess you don't wear those funky clothes for nothing, lady. Well, there ain't a law against takoyaki shops cooking stuff besides octopus.
There is if it's not really edible, though.
How about it? You wanna buy one? It'll make you smile so wide your cheeks will fall off.
You guys aren't affiliated with the chocolate company that makes Spring Surprise, are you?
Cuisine so luscious that one's cheeks fall off. Such a result would cause havoc in reality, but I'd definitely like to experience this.
Clearly, metaphors go right over Elizabeth's head. Is that gonna be as much money as she spent the last time?
I have never seen a person who has actually lost his or her cheeks. This must mean that the ordinary citizen cannot easily buy these.
Or,
Oh, upon closer inspection, one package is only 400 yen.
Ah.
Well then, 2 packages, please.
Okay, well, at least she's
Here you go, and come again.
buying the entire shop.
This distinct texture, the firm, chewy outer skin, there's no doubt about it. I must say, I'm surprised to come across this used as an ingredient in food.
You actually know what's in these? Huh. Well, what about the cheeks situation?
They seem to still be in place. And in any event, there are many other delicacies I feel I must try. I must take care not to lose my cheeks before sampling each and every one of them.
If you say so. But if only Elizabeth knows the actual secret ingredient of this, I'm even more disturbed as to what it could possibly be.
There appear to be several dining establishments around. I wish to try all of them.
All of them? Really? There's quite a lot, and that
My
means...
first priority is to visit something called a manga cafe and obtain a foodstuff known as a smoothie bar. This smoothie bar allows for an infinite combination of flavors by mixing various ingredients.
Considering this universe has meat gum, I wouldn't put it past them.
Just thinking about it gives me a sort of electric tingle across my tongue.
And so... Gary Sue unintentionally was revenged on.
We appear to have exhausted the culinary possibilities in this area. Oh my! Are you feeling well? Now that I think about it, you haven't eaten much since our 7th meal.
Okay, that implies there was even more than 7 as well.
In any event, I have to thank you for the tasty experience. If you don't mind, I'd very much enjoy accompanying you again.
Also, I kind of hope that she paid for those. And Gary Stu is like, the things I do for waifus. Ah! Ah! And of course, we have to turn in the request by going in here. Yeah, that was certainly an experience. That's one way to put it. You couldn't tell us what's in those takoyaki. That might be helpful to avoid possibly dying in the future. But if it's an ingredient Elizabeth can hunt down, again, I'm pretty worried. So now we can fuse a new persona, Empusa. Does that have an extra layer of meat to it at all? Seems like Gary Stu's charms may be working. Get out while you still can. Anyway, with that, we've completed another request, and there's not really all that much more that we can accept and request apart from these ones, which we'll be doing later, and yeah, at the moment I think I'm fine just having the current one active. But that did not use up time, which means that we have to go ahead and do another social link. And today, well, what better way to work off all of that fat that Gary Stu gained by eating a ridiculous number of meals by heading to sports club practice, because it's chariot time. Thankfully, we have Zochoten, who is a chariot persona, so that's going to help. Although we could have easily just got one out of the Velvet Room if we didn't have one, so really the highest priority to get before leaving Tartarus was a hermit persona, because you don't really have any time before doing that link to get one out of the Velvet Room. Anyway, back to school. It's always a rare day when you leave the school to do something, and then in the same afternoon, want to go back to it. But anyway, let's head back to the classroom, and it'll be time to do yet another social link. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Yeah, they totally fainted because of that. Yeah, there was nothing supernatural involved at all. Well, she does say random phrases in it. I did actually Google that, and it turns out that actually is the French term for goosebumps, but that sounds like... the pull at the end sounds more like chicken than goose. A lot of languages have equivalents of different expressions, but what they literally mean is often quite different. My personal favourite is one equivalent of using a sledgehammer to crack a nut being using a nuclear weapon on a sparrow. Yeah, despite all of that, we are in fact going to practice today. Like I said, it'll definitely help, help work off all of this excess weight. Yeah, it also takes dedication to go out with a weird otherworldly girl, eats over 7 meals, and then still do this. Even though it says that, Garrus doesn't seem to be participating. As much as it would be... if only they knew. Yeah, you tell him, Yuko. Is that supposed to be some kind of double entendre? That doesn't sound good. Yeah, things really aren't going so well in the Kendo Club. Kaz really needs to tell more people about this, but he seems determined to do this, as we've learned his real motives behind it. Once again meeting at the gate. Wonder what the coach was telling him about. Well, that makes sense. I think a lot of people know by this point. But let's see how he's going. Yeah, this is not gonna end well. But he seems determined to do this. And once again, as weird as it seems, this top option is the one that we have to choose here. Though, given his reaction to it, it seems like he treats that as more like just a friendly joke, really. Still just as stubborn as ever. If only he'd realized that if he just hurts himself, it'll just make things worse for his nephew. But I mean, surely he can be convinced if we just keep seeing him a little more. We're ranked 7 already. That's actually one of our higher ranked social links now. Yeah, but the way you're going, the worst case scenario is probably going to happen. Wow, that's two things. I just really don't know if his knee can take it. Yeah, he definitely needs to have a serious talk at this point.
Where have you been?
Well, yeah, dating interdimensional chicks, that we already went recently, Akihiko. By the way, this isn't so much of a spoiler, but from what I've seen of Persona 5 streams, your party members nagging you about going to the dungeon tonight is back. Well, not tonight in that case, it actually happens after school, but still, they still nag you a lot in that game, which is, some things never change. Yeah, I often find that when it's raining, it does tend to be quite dry. Oh, yeah, that's good. Let's just hope Kaz isn't watching that, otherwise he could get ideas. This line is so ironic, considering what most of the fandom thinks. Calm and soothing, yeah, well, not exactly when you hear the same lines over and over and over again. Well, be careful you don't get too jealous, otherwise your jealousy might turn into a demon, and then... Oh wait, that's a different game. There they are, but, well, I generally like to only go to once a week, but train really, really hard on that one day. Because of this, I have to make sure to not accidentally go to Tartarus. Okay, she's describing her persona here. And yeah, pretty much, oh yeah, and as for her abilities, none of this matters. But yeah, pretty much just a support persona. And yeah, good thing the whole no resistances thing is on a persona that never actually enters battle. Yeah, she uses one-handed swords, not technically, like, rapiers aren't a separate class in this game. In Persona Q, adequate. I actually quite like the attack, and accuracy of one-handed swords. In Persona Q, her rapiers actually became pierce rather than slash, and that helped give her quite a bit of uniqueness. I actually like that and wish that was in play here. But with that, we've basically done everything we were going to do today, so gonna go ahead and save because it's been a few days since I've had the chance to, and then our regular nighttime schedule, and tomorrow we'll be doing more social link stuff.